Hey Lennies, welcome back to our channel. Thanks for being patient with this video. I got sick with the most deathly flu of my life and I was bedridden for like 4 days. Word of advice, don't go to IKEA during flu season. So I basically risked my life for you guys in that last video. I am a little congested still, so bear with me, but today I wanted to make a video that has been highly requested for so long. And that is a video about rabbits as emotional support animals and how Lennon became my emotional support animal. And I also want to help clear up some of the differences between an emotional support animal, a service animal, and a therapy animal, which are all entirely distinct labels, and there does seem to be a little bit of confusion there. For those of you who have followed us for quite some time and you know Lennon's story, you know that she's helped me through some very difficult times, so this topic is dear to my heart. And I have mentioned it in a couple other videos, but today I'm just going to delve into all the detail and hopefully answer some of your questions. So first, let's start off with the definition of an emotional support animal. An emotional support animal is by law an assistance animal that provides a therapeutic benefit to someone with a verifiable condition, impairment, or disability. And the reason for the animal can't just be for companionship. So in other words, the animal helps relieve some of the symptoms of that condition and helps the person live a somewhat healthy and normal life. And to put it in even simpler terms, it's kind of like taking NyQuil for your cold. It's not going to cure your cold, but it's going to help relieve some of the symptoms of a cold. Now, how does your animal or your rabbit become an emotional support animal? That's a great question. Now, there's no national registry per se, so don't be fooled by some of those fake websites that claim that they can certify your animal as an ESA for $99 and email you the paperwork, and then you can fly on a plane with your turkey or your pig or whatever it is that you have. Unfortunately, it's websites like that that make it very difficult for those of us with real emotional support animals to have any sort of credibility. Now, the right and legal way to qualify your animal is to go through a medical professional, preferably a mental health expert like a psychiatrist or a psychologist or a therapist who can document your need for the emotional support animal. So yes, emotional support animals can fly with you in the cabin on a plane, on a train, and your landlord does have to make a reasonable accommodation to let you live with the emotional support animal. So in other words, you can't be discriminated against for having the emotional support animal because that would be discriminating against your condition. And ESAs can be a variety of different animals ranging from dogs to cats to birds to turkeys to rabbits. Now, service animals are entirely different in that they are actually trained to perform tasks or do work for a person with a disability. And if I'm not mistaken, in the United States, service animals are limited to dogs and miniature horses. I know there's a couple other states that do have a few inclusions of a few other animals, but that's what it is for the most part. Now, some of these tasks can be very intricate, such as pulling a wheelchair or guiding a visually impaired person, alerting someone when they're about to have a seizure, or calming someone down through PTSD. They're also allowed in public places no matter what, and that's one of the biggest markers of differences between all these labels. Now, some of these animals train hard and work hard their whole lives since they're very, very young to become service animals and perform some of these tasks. And a lot of them do actually have to pass a test to become service animals, such as seeing eye dogs. Emotional support animals are not specifically trained to perform a task for a person with an emotional disability, and they're also not guaranteed access to public places. Now, that doesn't mean you can't go out with your emotional support animal, it just means that you might be turned away. And that's okay. So having said that, I just want to emphasize that when I do go out with Lennon, it's not under the guise of her being some sort of service animal, which she can't be anyway because she's a rabbit. And I certainly don't use her status as an ESA to get her into places. It's simply a girl going out with her rabbit. And I take her to places that have animal-friendly policies like Petco and PetSmart and Ross, and also smaller independent businesses in our city that do welcome animals into their stores. So lastly, therapy animals or animal-assisted therapy is a form of therapy that involves animals as a form of treatment. And these animals tend to go to hospitals and schools and prisons and rehabilitation centers and nursing homes, and their job is to uplift the spirits and boost the morale of some of these folks who are going through difficult times, such as sick children or the elderly or people undergoing some sort of recovery. And this therapy is thought to really improve the cognitive, social, and emotional functioning of some of these patients. Now, this is more like volunteer work, and your animal or your rabbit does have to follow a certain criteria to become a therapy animal, such as being healthy and being a certain age and being house trained. And then you as the handler have to be able to read your animal's body language and guide safe interactions between the animal and the patient. Okay guys, so that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. It's a very dense topic, so I'm sorry if I left out any information. I was trying to condense it into this video, but I hope I was able to answer some of your questions and just give you a better understanding of how emotional support animals work. And let me know in the comments below what you guys want to see next. I have a whole list of videos I want to make, such as a video on GI stasis, an apartment tour, how to DIY your own flower crown. So yeah, let me know. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, and we'll see you guys soon.